Hello boys, it's Daddy here. I just thought I'd have a go and make you a little YouTube video, and if it works then maybe I can do some more for you soon. Anyway, I thought that I would read you a story today, and the story is from this book here. This book called Alfie Gives a Hand. I'm not sure if you've read it. I'm sorry if you have, but I hope you enjoy when I read it to you. So, Alfie Gives a Hand. There we are, you see. You can see the pictures. I'll show you the pictures as we go through. Right? One day, Alfie came home from the nursery school with a card in an envelope. His best friend, Bernard, had given it to him. "Look, it's got my name on it," said Alfie, pointing. Mum said that it was an invitation to Bernard's birthday tea party. There they are. An invitation to Bernard's birthday tea party. Will it be at Bernard's house? Alfie wanted to know. He'd never been there before. Mum said yes, and she told him all about birthday parties and how you had to take a present and about the games and what nice things to eat there would be. Alfie was very excited about Bernard's party. When the day came, Mum washed Alfie's face and brushed his hair and helped him to put on a clean t-shirt and his brand new shorts. There's Alfie having his hair brushed, just like you, Lucas and Sam. Getting his nice clean shorts on. "You and Annie Rose are going to be at the party too, aren't you?" asked Alfie. "Oh no," said Mum. "I'll take you to Bernard's house and then Annie Rose and I will go to the park and come back and collect you when it's time to go home." "But I want you to be there," said Alfie. Mum told him that she and Annie Rose hadn't been invited to the party, only Alfie, because he was Bernard's special friend. "You don't mind me leaving you at nursery school, do you?" she said. "So you won't mind being at Bernard's house either, as soon as you get there." Mum had bought some crayons for Alfie to give Bernard for his birthday present. While she was wrapping them up, Alfie went upstairs. He looked under his pillow and found his old bit of blanket, which he kept in bed with him at night. He brought it downstairs and sat down to wait for Mum. Yeah, you see, he's got his blankie, just like you've got your bear. See? "You won't want your old blanket at the party," said Mum, when it was time to go. But Alfie wouldn't leave his blanket behind. He held it tightly with one hand and Bernard's present with the other, all the way to Bernard's house. And when they got there, Bernard's mum opened the door. "Hello, Alfie," she said. "Let's go into the garden and find Bernard and the others." Then Mum gave Alfie a kiss and said goodbye and went off to the park with Annie Rose. There's Alfie, been dropped off at the party. "Would you like to put your blanket down with the coats?" asked Bernard's mum. But Alfie didn't want to put his blanket down. He held onto it very tightly. Bernard was in the garden with Min and Sam and Daniel and the other children from nursery school. Nursery school? "Happy birthday," Alfie remembered to say as he gave Bernard his present, and Bernard ripped off the paper. "Crayons! How lovely," said Bernard's mum. "Say thank you, Bernard." "Thank you," said Bernard. But do you know what he did then? He threw the crayons up in the air and they all landed all over the grass. "That was a silly thing to do," said Bernard's mother, and she picked up the crayons and put them away. Then Bernard's mum brought out some bubble stuff and blew lots of bubbles into the air. They floated all over the garden and the children jumped about trying to pop them. Alfie couldn't pop many bubbles because he was holding on to his blanket. But Bernard jumped about and pushed and popped more bubbles than anybody else. "Don't push people, Bernard," said Bernard's mum sternly. One huge bubble landed lightly on Min's sleeve and it stayed there quivering and shiny. And Min smiled. She stood very still. Then Bernard came by behind her and popped the big bubble and Min began to cry. Bernard's mum was cross when Bernard, with Bernard and told him to say he was sorry. Say sorry, Bernard. You have to say sorry. You're mean. To Min. See, there's Min with a big bubble on her arm. Never mind, we're going to have tea now, dear, said Min. She told Min, who would you like to sit next to? Min wanted to sit next to Alfie. She stopped crying and pulled a chair close to his. For tea there were sandwiches and little sausages on sticks and crisps and jellies and a big ice cake with candles. Happy birthday, Bernard, was written on it. Bernard took a huge breath and blew out all of the candles in once. Everyone clapped and sang, Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. Then Bernard blew into his lemonade and threw his straw and made rude bubbling noises. He blew into his jelly too, until his mum took it away from him. Alfie liked the tea, but holding onto his blanket made eating rather difficult. It got all mixed up with the jelly and the crisps, and it got covered in sticky crumbs. And there they are, all having their food at the party. After tea, Bernard's mum said they were all to go outside and play a game, but Bernard ran off and fetched his very best present. It was a fidget spinner. Bernard went behind a bush and came out with the fidget spinner and made terrible growling noises. Rah, 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 he said as he spun his fidget spinner as fast as it would go. He then went crawling around the garden, sounding very fierce and frightening, and Min began to cry again. Girls. She clung on to Alfie. There he is with his fidget spinner. See it? Good. Get up at once, Bernard, said Bernard's mum. It's not that kind of game. Now let's all stand in a circle. Everyone join hands. Bernard's mum tried to take Min's hand and bring her into the circle, but Min wouldn't hold anybody's hand but Alfie's, and she went on crying, and she cried, and she cried, and she cried, 'cause she's a girl. Then Alfie made a brave decision and he ran away and put down his blanket and put it in a safe place. Now he could hold Min's hand too, as well as Bernard's, and Min stopped crying, and she wasn't frightened of Bernard in his tiger mask now that she was holding Alfie's hand. She joined in the game and together they sang and danced. Ring-a-rosies, a pocket full of posies, a tissue, we all fell down. Oh. Here I am again. Afterwards, Alfie and Min joined in more games and they ate ice cream and popcorn and balloons and bounced with the balloons and with other people, and Alfie had such a good time that his blanket stayed under the table until Mum and Annie Rose told him to go and collect it. What a helpful guest you've been, Alfie, said Bernard's mum, when Alfie thanked her and said goodbye. Min wouldn't have enjoyed the party a bit without you. I do wish Bernard would sometimes learn to be helpful. Perhaps he will one day. And on the way home, Alfie carried the blanket in one hand and a balloon and a packet of sweets in the other. His blanket had got a bit messy at the party. It had been rather in the way, too. Next time, he thought, he might leave it safely at home after all. And there they are, on their way home after the party. Well, there you are, boys. I hope you enjoyed Alfie Gives a Hand, and hopefully there'll be more next week. I love you very much, my boys, and I miss you every day. Bye now. And just as a special bonus, I'm going to add a little bit of the story, but this time told backwards. Now, I've been practicing this for a very long time, so I hope you understand how difficult it is, and maybe you can practice a little bit too. It goes a little bit like this.